All right, guys, we're back here in my garage. Knowledge. Okay, we're not doing that joke again. But I wanted to give you guys an update, a long-term update. See, I've had this car wrapped since 2019 in all her beauty. I don't know if it's a her, it might be a him, it's an it. My car's name is Phoenix, and that's because it was born again from being a black Tesla to a matte olive green Tesla. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Nice. Anyway, I've had this car since 2019, and I didn't know the wrap was going to last this long. So I figured now would be as best time as ever to give a 6-year update on the condition of my wrap and would I do it again and all that stuff. So let's talk about that. Now, I feel like I've done a pretty good job keeping it clean for the last 6 years, but it's not perfect. I want to draw some attention to some of the things here. Firstly, all of this is chrome, okay? Because before 2022, I believe, every Tesla came as a chrome finish, not a matte black or chrome delete style. So that's what I ended up doing here. If you look at the handles, you can see the chrome that's right there. Also, little blemishes over time that I can't clean out, like that's like an oil stain or something. You can see just little scratching here from hands over the years that's there. The satin black is starting to peel right here. Bug splatter that this is how it's gonna look when you get up close. And the prized thing of it all, my emblem here, is starting to wear down and chip. Obviously, it didn't look like this, but this is what it looks like after so many years. And I brought my car outside in the sunlight so you can see what it actually looks like in natural sunlight. These are permanent stains. All these are permanent stains. And then also little things like this. It started to peel a little bit right here, which is natural. Really noticeable here. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I just one day I noticed that was there, and so now that's permanently there. Someone hit the side of my car one time and chipped it. So now I got that. I'm also missing one of my caps. So where you could see it like right there for that one, this one is missing. Luckily, the emblem on the back is still perfect. I love this color and I love this color combo. I got this part also chrome deleted as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And what you will notice is when you look at the bigger picture, it's actually not that noticeable. And that's the point I'm trying to draw here. It's not that bad. But I do want it to be known that this was never meant to be a protective wrap, because it's not. It's completely aesthetic. And no better is that noticeable than just looking right at the front. You can see all the chips, all the scratching. This takes the brunt of the damage. And that's okay, because when this wrap comes off, inevitably, it's going to be a perfect black underneath. Now, this car is a looker. Obviously, I designed it to look that way. And never have I gotten more eyes on me than when I'm driving this car. Probably only rival to that of a Cybertruck when it first came out. I went with black because that was the free color at the time. And at the time, I didn't want to have black. I think I wanted like the space gray or whatever they call it, the dark gray or midnight, whatever that color is called. I think I wanted to go with that. But over time, I'm kind of glad that I do got the black one because it's the most versatile when it comes to things like wrapping. And even if I take it off, it's going to look pretty sick just as being a black car. For the inside of my car, it's remained relatively untouched. I don't even have a screen protector on this because I felt like that was never necessary. And it's a perfect screen. There's nothing wrong with it. I still have the piano black finish. That was the design for this model. So everything underneath is but just that shiny. I was gonna wrap the inside of this too and make this be outside the same texture, either matte or satin black, but I never got around to it, and I at this point I really don't care. I've pretty much maintained the car exactly as is. The only addition is my son's car seat in the back. So would I do it again? Probably not. Not for my next car going forward. And I'm not going to rewrap this one when it's done. It was a different time. Okay, let me give you the bigger context. 2019 is when I bought this car. 2019 is when I wrapped this car. What happened the next year? So much of my world changed after 2020 that I ended up not using this car that much for many years. So I think the wrap has lasted this long because I don't use it as frequently as I did back before COVID. And I was told the wrap was supposed to only last 3 years, 4 max, and I'm well over that by now. But obviously, I don't have any regrets. I was a different man in 2019. I had the money to afford wrapping this thing, which it was very expensive. The most common question I got was how much was my wrap? I paid $6,000 for a wrap to include the chrome delete. That was another $1,000. So total, I paid $7,000 to customize my Model 3. Now, at the time, Teslas weren't common like that. They weren't popular. In fact, everybody was saying that Tesla was doomed to fail because nobody wants to buy an EV. It was still that era of things. And I wanted to prove them wrong. So I had fuck you money. And I bought this car cash. I paid for the wrap cash. I bought a fuckload of Tesla stock cash. And then I cashed that shit out. So, life changes. And now I have a fully paid car. And it's nowhere near what I paid. Like, the value is nowhere close to what I paid for it. Back in 2021, 2022, people were offering me $80,000 for this car, specifically because they wanted a Tesla, they liked the wrap, and I said no. If I knew where everything was going to end up in 2025, back in 2021, 2022, would I have taken that deal? Probably not. Because this was my dream car, and I couldn't be bought for $80,000 at the time, and I wanted this car, and I still love this car. There's nothing wrong with Tesla, the product. There's just something a little wrong with Tesla, the brand, and the person who represents Tesla. That's the only controversy right there. This product, best thing I ever bought, next to my house or my homes. But for what it's worth, my car is still technically protected, because there is a wrap, even though it's not a protective wrap. And when the day comes and the wrap needs to come off, or if I get bored, I could do it. I take it off, and it's just like taking off your phone case on your phone. It feels like you have a new phone at that point. That's what this car's going to feel. It's going to feel like I have a new car, even though I don't. And I spend all the time here in the cabin, so that really hasn't changed, and it's not going to change. But just the feel for the car, taking the wrap off whenever that comes, it's going to feel like I bought a new car, and that's going to last me a few more years. Because let's recap from a previous video I did talking about EVs. My next EV is going to not be a brand new EV. I'm done with that. And I'm also not going to spend more than $30,000. So I think I'm going to go with the Rivian. I don't know yet. Well, time will tell. But I bought myself enough time to, I've owned this car for over half a decade, and it's nowhere near showing its age yet. Not even with the Hardware 3 that I have on here. And I still get a free upgrade. I will get Hardware 4 for free. And I did buy full self-driving outright back in 2019 for $6,000. So in every sense, there's nothing aging about this car. It's me who's gotten bored. And I was even bored when I bought the car, which is why I wrapped it. So would I do it again? No. But was it worth it? Yes. And if anybody asks me, should they wrap their car? If you have the money, why not? But only do it if you have the money, cash. Don't put cosmetic changes on your vehicle, on your property. Don't do anything cosmetic and put debt on that. That's never worth it. So only if you have the cash, if you have the means to do it, then do it. Deck it out however you want. I do support that because it was fun. It was worth it. It gave my car character. My car was one of the first, if not the first, matte olive green Model 3. And I'm proud of that. It had personality, so much so that it made one of my older channels that I don't do anymore monetized. I got EV famous for a second, and partly was because of this car. So there you have it. Phoenix wrap update 6 years later. Completely worth it for me. I won't do it again. And still my favorite car.